on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Saturday. Hope you're having an awesome weekend wherever you are. If we have a look at what is going on in the markets, it is yet again another boring day as far as the prices are concerned. So is Bitcoin boring at this point? Let's just be honest, man. We have been going sideways for so long right now. Now, we are starting to come back up, touching this level again that we had pointed out before, but it doesn't really mean anything at this point. I mean, the reason that I'm just looking at key levels and we're not drawing any kind of a wedge is because really we're just looking at this flag and there's not much to go off of except for maybe some of this volume down here. So you guys know how I feel about this moving forward, but if we have a look at the markets overall, Bitcoin dominance is still sitting at 52.7, $121 billion market cap still, and Bitcoin is around $3,638, Ethereum 123, XRP 30 cents. Litecoin actually up 3% today, so, you know, not massive, but it is at $43.85. Now, if we have a look at the gainers on the front page, well, there we go again, Holochain. Man, I gotta be honest with you guys, I had some Holochain back in the day, but I sold it. But man, if I had held on to that, congratulations to anybody that held on to this thing. Look at that growth. Wow, that's crazy. So anyway, yeah, congratulations on that. That's pretty impressive. But if we look at the other coins of the day, we have ELF, Crypto.com, Decentraland, Eternity, VeChain, Steam, Monacoin, Chainlink, Litecoin, and Mixin all doing quite well today. Now, getting off of looking at the charts for a second, because what else are we going to do? Just keep looking at the same, like literally just keep looking at this all day? So having a look at what these guys are saying, you know, there are some experts that are claiming that there might not ever be a bull run again, like 2017, because the Bitcoin futures market has provided speculators with an instrument to bet against it, right? So now you can make money shorting Bitcoin and longing Bitcoin. So hey, we're in a bear market, who cares? These guys, they're just going to short and they're going to make their money anyway, right? But Kevin Duffy, now he's from Next Level Finance, he believes that billions of dollars have been invested and a much higher spike than 2017 is expected because of technological developments. So if we look here, he went on to say, while it's reasonable to expect that the next spike is even higher than the previous spike, just like the 2017 spike was higher than the 2013 spike, a subsequent crash is likely as well. The boom-bust nature of Bitcoin every few years isn't overly negative. However, each spike brings Bitcoin back to the mainstream's consciousness, which attracts new attention and brings more interest to the platform. This is key for long-term development of the platform and protocol. In fact, the other day when we were talking in that interview, you know, and they asked me, what do you think would really get people interested again? You know, is it going to be institutions? Is it going to be this and that? Sure, maybe a little bit. But realistically speaking, the majority of people that aren't getting into Bitcoin, you know, like Venezuela, who's just using it as a better form of money, it's pretty much just because the price is going up, right? So you're not going to see the masses come back in until we have that $10,000 Bitcoin, right? Which is why, you know, if you're watching right now, not financial advice, but you're pretty lucky right now to be having an opportunity like this, paying attention to Bitcoin during such a boring time, right? So he goes on to say that in all likelihood, we will see another run like 2017, super spike in Bitcoin, but it won't be for a few years. The 2017 spike had similarities to the late 2013 spike, which saw the price of Bitcoin rally from a low $100 price to over $1,200 in just a couple of months. And that's the thing that most people don't realize. In fact, when we go back and we look at the overall chart of Bitcoin, you'll see that that massive run up in 2017 really only occurred during a very, very, very small portion of time, mostly a month, with the majority of the gains being made in just 3 weeks. That's why you got to get in when no one's talking about it. Not financial advice, but you know. So while most Bitcoin enthusiasts vividly recall the 2017 spike, he says those of us following Bitcoin for most of the decade recall that the 2013 spike had much of the same characteristics, you know, so between the two spikes was a prolonged period of sideways trading. After that, rise, fall, period may refer to the crypto winter, which is what we're in right now, but eventually we will see these cycles because that's all they are. They're just cycles, guys. Now, will it play out exactly in a 4-year cycle like it did the last time? Probably not. I mean, it's very different this time around. There's a lot more eyes on it. There's a lot more institutional money coming in, right? All these different tools that are being built, like Backed and Fidelity. It's a very different game. JP Morgan launching a coin, right? So, you know, we will have to take all these factors in, but it is inevitable, and it is a good time to be in. Now, I do want to point out something that the CME Group CEO Terry Duffy said. Now, this was it was an interview with Bloomberg TV, and it's only about 30 seconds, but I just want you to, actually, it's a little over 30, it's like a minute, but I want you to check out what he was saying about, his opinion on how Bitcoin will survive, and also he kind of talks about the JPM coin a little bit too. So I'm just going to play this real quick for you guys. Let me make sure the volume is up before I play it.
You obviously offer the chance to be able to gain some exposure to Bitcoin in particular. And I want to get your take on institutional demand for this at the moment. Interestingly, we've got news that JP Morgan is looking at unleashing their own coin. This, of course, is for their own internal transactions. But is institutional demand there? Is it rebounding? Is it hitting some sort of bottom, Terry?
You know what, Caroline, I'm not quite sure. I was a big believer that we needed to go forward and list Bitcoin in some way, shape, or form, but also understanding this is a brand new asset class that has come into the marketplace, so you need to be able to walk before you run. So we put a lot of controls that we don't have on certain products on Bitcoin. So I think that was important. So the bottom line is, I think until governments really start to accept cryptocurrencies of some way, shape, or form, it's going to be very difficult for the major commercials to come in here and really get gung-ho on Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. So we'll have to do a wait and see. I think JP Morgan's done a little bit of I don't want to say an about face, but they were very, I would say, pessimistic on the whole Bitcoin idea a couple of years ago, and now they're coming up with some offerings. Goldman Sachs on the same way. So I have to think we have to do a wait and see, but I really think the key to the success of any currency, whether it's fiat or crypto, is going to be associated with the government. So I think the government needs to be more involved.
So, anyway, guys, pointing that out, the government needs to be more involved. Well, what is your opinion on this? I mean, the whole idea behind Bitcoin is being your own bank, pure decentralization, right? Trustlessness, censorship resistance, right? These are all the key words we always hear all the time. So I don't necessarily know if that is what we need for Bitcoin, but I do know, as I state time and time again, that there are a lot of people that are still very hesitant and will not get involved until the regulatory clarity is a lot clearer when it comes to these cryptos, especially talking about things like, ICOs and things of that nature. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up for you guys today. Now, there was a little bit of a shot fired back at JP Morgan from Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. And he says, as predicted, banks are changing their tune on crypto, but this JPM project misses the point. Introducing a closed network today is like launching AOL after Netscape's IPO 2 years later, and bank coins still aren't the answer. So that is his opinion on the matter. Now, guys, I'm trying something different today. I'm actually going to try to keep the show moving a little faster. I know yesterday's video was a little bit longer. It's the weekend. Who wants to be watching crypto videos all day? But I do want to talk about this update. When I've been very interested in this QuadrigaCX thing that's been going on. It's like every other day there's some new stuff that comes out. So now they're saying that apparently they think that he may have stored the exchange's private keys on paper in a safety deposit box. Now, this is Gerald Cotton. He's the guy who passed away. If you haven't been following this, I've been covering it a lot on the channel. So there was an interview with True Bromance Podcast, and this was all the way back in February of 2014. And he warned of the dangers of losing keys to cold wallet storage systems and therefore losing access to assets stored on them. To quote him, he said, "Even the US government, with the biggest computers in the world, could not retrieve those coins if you've lost the private key. It's impossible to retrieve those coins," which is one reason why you need to keep your private keys safe, but is the other reason why you need to keep your money safe from others on, a hardware device or just somewhere where you guys know what the private keys are, right? So he also revealed that the team behind the exchange actually stored its private keys offline in the company's safety deposit box at the bank. He said, essentially, we put a bunch of paper wallets into the safety deposit box, remember the addresses of them, so we just send the money to them. We don't need to go back and, every single time we want to put money in it. The only time we need to go get the private keys is if basically we want to take money out, right? Because you have your public and your private. So as long as you have your public, you could just send money to it, right? But then if you want to retrieve it, well, you're going to have to go get your private key to access those funds. So that's something I wanted to point out. So this could be a good thing for anybody on Quadriga. I mean, I saw there was a guy, I think he's like an engineer, and he was upset. He lost like $460,000. It was his life savings or something. So really, really serious. And I also want to point out that yesterday, Nova Scotia Supreme Court Justice Michael Wood actually delayed a decision on legal representation for Quadriga customers, saying that he would issue a written decision in the case within a week. The court hearing reportedly brought together over a dozen lawyers who represent 1,115 crypto traders. That's a lot of people right now that are dealing with this, seeking to reimburse around $52 million in cash and $142 million in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right? So we know, I tell you guys, you know, definitely get your coins off the exchange. I know it's difficult. I know when you want to make those quick trades, but if you're not actively day trading and that's not what you're doing, why would you keep them there? Because not your keys, not your crypto, right? Here's something that came out. So you have Julio. Now, he's talking to HitBTC. As you guys know, I don't like HitBTC. I'm not a fan of the exchange. I'm sorry. I've used it before. Horrible experiences. And I also... yeah, it's just really, really bad experiences with HitBTC. But anyway, he says when morph withdrawals, meaning, you know, morph tokens, and then they go, sometimes software requires technical maintenance, and we are doing our best to finish it as soon as possible. We perfectly understand your concern, though apologize for the inconvenience you may be experiencing. We appreciate your patience, to which, Julio replies, it's okay, 8-month software upgrade. Totally reasonable, right? Yeah, 8 months to get my coins off the exchange. That's a totally reasonable time to, wait for that, right? Now, I don't want to, be a little doom and gloom, but the crypto winter, the bear market has not been friendly to a lot of these different projects, and now you are seeing a lot of people are getting these in their emails from Shift, saying, dear Shift card holder, we hope you enjoyed using the card. Thank you very much. But unfortunately, we will be retiring the program in April of this year. All Shift cards will officially be deactivated on April 11th. Don't worry, your Shift card will continue to work until that date. We hope to relaunch the program and issue new cards in the future. Thanks for your patience. Now, they don't really go into details. They could have put another statement out. I haven't seen one since this video, but as of right now, they're not really giving a clear reason, but they're just saying, hey, you have until April, and then your crypto cards are going to be shut off, right? So this is just showing more struggling, and this is going back to the other day when the guy was talking about, there will be projects that survive. There will be currencies, there will be tokens, there will be projects that will survive and will actually prosper. But unfortunately, the majority of the coins, like we saw with Binance's delisting the other day, are eventually going to end up in a grave. Unfortunately, that's just how things go. I mean, even in the real world, most businesses, don't even see a profit. I think it is for, like their first 3 years, and then most of them don't even survive or something. I don't know the statistic, but it's definitely tough out there, guys. Now, this is a breaking story. This might concern you, it might not, but basically, you have crypto brokerage Coinmama, which allows users to purchase Bitcoin and Ethereum using their credit card, has suffered a major data breach affecting 450,000 of its users. The breach is reportedly part of a mammoth multi-platform hack that affected 24 companies and a total of 747 million records, among them gaming, travel, booking, and streaming sites, just to name a few. So they say that around 450,000 email addresses and hashed passwords of users who registered on the platform before August 5th of 2017, apparently it's been posted on a dark web registry. So as of February 15th, 2019, there has been no evidence of this data being used by perpetrators. Given the dated nature of the published data, we have no reason to suspect that any other Coinmama systems are compromised. And they also say that they do not store your credit card information. So aside from immediately notifying users, they say that its response team is requiring all potentially affected users to reset their password upon login, as well as monitoring its array of systems for suspicious activity or unauthorized access. The platform says it is working to enhance its safeguards and track any external signals that they think might compromise the data being used. This is the official statement right here if you guys want to read it from them. It's not really that long, but basically they are acknowledging it. So moving on to some coin news of the day. You guys like this? We're keeping it moving. The Neo Global Development Seattle office will open and begin recruitment this month, purportedly allowing the company to expand into the U.S. markets. Per the press release, that the Neo Global Development has been developing partnerships with Microsoft and other companies. And also, just to mention today, guys, I know I told you guys I was thinking about going to Neo Devcon. I ended up not not being able to go. But if you guys are attending, yeah, let me know how that goes. And so that's happening in 2 hours from the time of making this video. Probably by the time you see it, almost, I'm sure it'll probably be at 0 at that point. And it's interesting though, because when we go back here and we have a look, and we see what Neo's doing, I mean, it's like there's like no excitement whatsoever. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. But let me know if you guys do go how it was. I had a really great time the first time at Neo Devcon. So it's unfortunate I couldn't make it this time, but yeah, it was really fun the first time, so I'm curious to see how that goes if anybody's there. So also, guys, we have Apple has submitted what might seem like an arcane filing with the SEC, but the document contains tantalizing details about the computer giant's interest in blockchain tech. So could we be seeing an Apple iChain sometime soon? Maybe. Let's not jump the gun. The document is entitled Summary of Apple's Commitment to Responsible Sourcing, and they say that it says, to upholding human rights across its global network of suppliers that support the manufacturing of its mobile communication and media devices, personal computers, and related accessories. So basically, they are committed to this. And don't forget, Apple came out and who knows how much data they're keeping, but I know that Apple tends to be one of the more sensitive companies when it comes to your data. Or so they tell us. But anyway, making note of both of its internal work on the front as well as its relationship with supply chain providers, the document is largely a description of Apple's efforts to ethically source materials for its popular products like the iPhone. However, we do know supply chain has been a pretty popular blockchain use case. So these details aside, the filing doesn't touch much on really what we're looking for, which is whether they're on the cusp of joining the growing rank of tech giants that are offering some form of blockchain-related service, specifically if they are working on some kind of supply chain-focused solution. They haven't really come out and said it, but there is some wild speculation about it. So we will be keeping an eye on this moving forward, guys. Now, here's another one, another situation with the SEC. They've announced a preliminary injunction granted against Blockvest LLC for unlicensed security offer. Are we not surprised? We know this is not the last one we're going to be hearing. This overturns a previous court order claiming that the SEC failed to prove that the token was a security. So, you had Ringgold, he's the founder, he kind of was trying to fight it, right? Well, they're saying that Blockvest had falsely claimed that the fund was licensed and regulated. It proudly boasted approval from major financial regulators, including the SEC, who seal it illegally approved. Okay, now we're going to get into this in just a second. So they promoted the ICO he promoted the ICO with his own fake regulatory agency, the Blockchain Exchange Commission, the BEC, had a strangely similar seal to the SEC and shared the same address as the SEC headquarters. Okay. Come on. So, of course, the securities watchdog continued its pursuit, and as of February 14th, that's right, guys, on Valentine's Day, what did they get? Well, they managed to convince the court that promotion of the BLV token was, after all, a security, according to the outdated dinosaur Howey test.
Another one.
But nevertheless, this is an issue moving forward, and, anyone considering doing an ICO needs to really strongly consider the utility of the token, because if you can't really prove a valid use case for it, you're probably going to fall under a security, and that's going to be a problem for a lot of people. So let's talk about Liberstad. That's right. It's a private anarcho-capitalist city in Norway that has adopted a cryptocurrency native to its blockchain-powered smart city platform as its official medium of exchange. So, founded in 2015, Liberstad is the outcome of the Libertania project run by the nonprofit Liberstad Drift Association, which aims to create a city society autonomous from government interference. So this is what they said. They say, we want a society where people decide for themselves and can live together without government authorities. We want a society without government coercion, blackmail, surveillance, or unnecessary violence. So the city has now adopted the cryptocurrency referred to as Citycoin, with a ticker of City, C-I-T-Y, which will be the only medium of exchange in Liberstad's closed market. National flat currencies are prohibited. So if you go there with your dollars, they will not accept it. The Citycoin uses a proof-of-stake consensus algorithm in which block validators are selected based on the number of tokens and given node has staked in their wallet. You guys know how proof-of-stake works. You stake tokens, you get tokens, right? So that's pretty cool. Also, this is interesting right here. It says the city's freehold plots were first sold for either Bitcoin or the Norwegian krone. So, I mean, even back then they were using the Bitcoin, but now they're using Citycoin. So there you go. Smart blockchain cities. I also want to talk about 10,000 retail shops in France that are going to be selling Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Dash. So it says Digicode first rolled out its crypto coupon last year. The startup says it's now expanding to over 10,000 shops through a collaboration with Paris-based payments giant Ingenico. So it says that the crypto startup will offer prepaid recharge coupons that can be purchased in 3 available increments, 20, 50, or 200 euro by visiting any of the supported locations. Once a customer redeems the coupon on Digicode's website by using a secret code, the euro is then converted into crypto. The company says that crypto balances will appear in the user's crypto wallet as soon as the transaction is confirmed. Now, I understand that's not exactly the goal of crypto. The idea is not to be including the middleman, who's swapping it out for fiat for you. But at the same time, it's a step in the right direction. It is progress, okay? And like I said, some people do not feel comfortable with straight up P2P transactions. So I think this is a good thing. It gets the name out there. It's going to still, technically, it'll allow people that want to use crypto to use it. So I think this is a good thing. Let me know. How do you feel about these intermediaries? Somewhat it goes against the ethos of crypto, but at the same time, it's still good for adoption, I think. Moving on to our final story of the day, and then we're going to get on out of here. In a reported first for both countries, Paraguay has bought pesticides and fumigation products worth $7,100 from Argentina. Not that it really matters what they're buying, but they did it using crypto to seal the deal. The purchase was paid for in Bitcoin and then converted into Argentine peso to settle the accounts with the explorer of the agricultural chemicals. And they used BiteX, which is a Latin American financial services provider that supports Bitcoin payments. So kind of another one of those middleman things, but hey, we will take it. And finally, we have Clem Chambers, the chief executive of investment website advfn.com and a cryptocurrency commentator. He recently took to Forbes to exclaim why Bitcoin really is money, not a purely speculative asset. Traditional credit cards and services like PayPal allow for so-called chargebacks. The fact that Bitcoin is international makes it better than old-fashioned money, also drawing attention to the transparency that public blockchains provide. He says it has many advantages over classic money, but also drawbacks. The fact is that it is valid, fast, cheap, and a powerful new means of exchange. And with that, guys, I am out of here. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. It is a beautiful day out here in New York. The sun is shining. The snow is melting. I'm getting excited. So if you guys haven't had an opportunity to download the Brave browser yet, I know if you guys hate watching the ads, everyone hates watching ads, you can have an ad-free experience using Brave browser if you guys want. If you use my link below, I'm a verified creator and you will get $5 worth of basic attention tokens to use on the platform. And also want to give a massive shout out to everyone that's been supporting the channel by keeping your crypto safe on a Ledger Nano device so that you don't get hacked like all these other guys. Obviously, you use my referral links. It helps the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I obviously expect nothing of you guys. And if we have a look at the chart, oh look, it's going up. Actually, when you zoom in, it don't look too bad, does it? Look at that. Of course, it looks good when you zoom in. So anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for coming. If you enjoyed this content today, definitely let me know. Drop a comment below. And if this is your first time, definitely get subscribed. I do this every single day. I say that I'm not going to do it on Sunday, but I probably will. Let's be honest, guys. I just can't stop talking about crypto. So that being said, I freaking love you guys. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, you guys rule. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.